qualifiers going on for various LAN tournaments. Mostly Radiant has the highest success rate by quite a margin, actually. From what I saw, anyway. We have the Alchemist first ban, and as you mentioned, that's no surprise.
EG's kryptonite.
Yep.
Yep. And OG's, well, the hero for Ana. The hero that can. So, previous game, OG banned out Underlord and Earth Spirit. Would they go for the same ones here?
Underlord, I think, for sure.
Yeah, Underlord for sure. I think the Earth Spirit, they might be able to leave it.
Yeah, agreed.
Well, they go for the Slaughter, so Underlord's still in. The first pick will go to Evil Geniuses, so perhaps... Nah, OG doesn't want to leave Underlord in. There shouldn't be a way.
That hero just seems way too easy to play around.
So they're eyeing what? Ember, Lone Druid, and Underlord.
And Underlord, yeah.
Kind of our first pick materials for EG.
At the same time, you know that there's going to be another game after this. Is this not the game to see, like, okay, let's see, let's let it through and see if we can potentially beat it?
What, the Underlord?
Yeah, Underlord.
They already tried.
Well, they can try again. If they want.
I don't think so. I think if you're first pick, you just take it.
As Ben Wu would say, that's dubious.
It is very dubious.
Well, yeah, well, Evil Geniuses will pick it, but maybe OG just wants to try and beat it.
Yeah, maybe they can without the Alchemist, actually. It's not that bad of an idea. It is dubious. That's what I like to say.
That's fair enough. I was just curious. I mean, OG is thinking about this ban, and they are taking into their bonus time for this as well, so it's not as clear-cut as we make it out to be. And they go for Lone Druid instead, so they opt to face the Underlord. Well, depending on if EG picks it up.
So is the strength of the Luna going to be coming out now again? Since the Lone Druid is removed?
That's true. You could pick Shadow Demon
Shadow Demon first from EG.
They would have to pick Underlord plus...
Underlord Luna or Underlord...
Wisp? No.
Not sure. EG does grab the Shadow Demon, though.
Yep.
I think the Underlord is definitely a pickup that they should go for here. And then should be the second hero. I think they should probably take the Luna away. I don't think you want to play against Shadow Demon Luna, but you do have Underlord.
Didn't they win against Underlord, against the Shadow Demon Luna with Underlord in the first game?
They had Alchemist.
They had Alchemist,
in the game. Yeah, you're right.
And they had Lone Druid.
Yeah, that too. Are there any kind of heroes that could replace their role? I mean, obviously Alchemist is very unique in that regard.
Naga, perhaps, but I don't know. Nagas, they're similar in that they form Radiance and Split Push, but not in the way that they are played out. Like, you don't build a lineup around the Naga like they did the Alchemist.
No, and Naga can get like bursted down much easier than Alchemist. Alchemist always, you have to have like, you need to be able to burst him down before he gets his Chemical Rage off and heals all the way up from it, so. I do think they did. I would expect them to go for the Underlord, though. Don't think they want to be giving that one up to EG. So yeah, Underlord, and maybe they can go for the Rubik again for themselves.
Yeah, Rubik I would actually.
Or maybe the Earth Spirit too, since it is OG. They get the Jarek's Earth Spirit.
I forgot that it was still in.
Yeah. Taking a little bit of their time.
I wouldn't even actually mind the Silencer too much. Like I liked how Secret utilized it versus the Shadow Demon, and I think it has a lot of merit. But I don't know if they're going to use that style.
Again, going into their bonus time for this. I always feel like if you take so long on the first two picks, because this is something that you can very much theory craft, and I know that it is theory crafted a lot, the openings of every team. So if you take this long to pick up your second pick, what does that mean?
You're stuck between two heroes. I think they were stuck between every team, and the Earth Spirit and the Luna. Like, do we want to give Shadow Demon Luna when we don't have this Lone Druid or Alchemist to kind of be that deterrent? I think this is fine though, this approach. Heavy team fight. Jarek's Earth Spirit, and yeah, EG takes the Luna right away. We can still get something right.
Does Enigma need to be addressed?
I do think so, yeah. I think like the mech carriers, the Enigma and the Darkseer. Although OG could run the Darkseer for themselves. Oh no, they can't, never mind. And the brain's slightly working. I think the Enigma ban would be good. Actually go for the Juggernaut ban. So it's like what?
Why Jug?
Super good versus Earth Spirit and versus like magnetize just in the laning phase as well. He could do pretty decent versus Underlord spin. Pretty okay. Just group up as well. They can go for like this quick early push with Shadow Demon Luna. They could even put the Jug mid. I mean, that would obviously be where it'd be since they have a Luna. Tough lane.
There's still Timber. I like Timber a lot versus the Underlord and the Earth Spirit. Very tanky, just by Hood, no problem. I think it's also pretty decent in lane versus whomever he gets matched up against. We've also seen Sand King as a response to Underlord a lot.
Yeah, we did see a lot of like 1v1 matchups happening, like people forcing like dual lanes, and then the Sand King gets left in a 1v. But Underlord seems to come out kind of okay in
He
that.
does. I think he wins in CS, and if you can catch him in the pit, the Sand King just dies whenever you gank him, which is really bad. I definitely prefer Timber over Sand King. But that would leave them with very little lockdown.
So, yeah, they do have Mixie ban. So they ban out the Darks here. They leave the Enigma though.
Turn to ban.
So that that 5-man mech, not death ball, but it just seems like I like it too. The way that EG is kind of favoring having a mech carrier in majority of their lineups, just sustain overall in these type of semi-push lineups.
Now the Darkseer
10
is not available.
remaining.
Any other ones that EG might pick? Enigma, I guess, is
5
one. I guess.
seconds.
Centaur, Timber,
Centaur,
or Enigma.
Enigma.
I
Centaur,
think.
Timber, Enigma.
I think those three. Yeah.
Yeah, those are the three I'd be eyeing.
All still likely here.
Yep, all still
OGs.
likely.
Yeah,
Turn
definitely still
to
lucky.
pick.
Banning out the Terrorblade and the Naga, so the two big illusion heroes that No Tail does play. Terrorblade is very different than the Nagas, though.
Oh, there's still
So
Meepo.
goes for the tower pushing. There is still Meepo. They did get quite a thrashing earlier when they picked it, though. But
Keeper of the light.
so they go for an early coddle, clear those illusions,
EG's turn to pick.
and now they have the more global potential with the Underlord and coddle recall.
What hero are they going to pair with Keeper, though?
Not too sure just yet, actually.
10 seconds remaining.
Keeper we see most often paired with Naga.
5 seconds
Yeah.
remaining.
Other than that, what's number 2? Used to be Bristle, but it
Used
don't-
to be Bristle,
Bristle
yeah.
is
Reserve
not
time.
very good at the moment. nor is
Before
he-
that, it was PL, but that's not really not an
No.
option at
Not
all.
for
And it's changed a bit.
PL, he used to play PL a lot.
He did used to play PL quite a bit.
It might not be that bad.
Where would you lane him? Safe lane?
Sure.
All right.
With Coddle, you can kind of lane him anywhere. I think it's a pretty strong lane.
True. We saw PL earlier today mid.
Yeah.
Maybe they got
Was
inspired.
that today?
Was
Yeah,
it like,
that was-
was it?
Yeah. Was like,
It's a long day.
I think that was
could've been
yesterday. I think that was yesterday.
was it? I think it was yesterday.
It
You're right.
was yesterday.
Okay, well, you know, the days kind of blend together at this rate.
I think that was more of just a straight up situation though to deal with the Queen of Pain in the lane.
Okay.
So that was that was versus DC. That was yesterday.
Yes. All right, so picking up a Keeper of Light doesn't really give away too much, so EG can choose whatever they want. They go for the greedy route. They have played a lot of Chen already.
Mech carrier.
Yep.
Although he hasn't really been building the mech all the times when he does
Nope.
play it. He goes for
Helm
the
and Dom.
Dominator, and then they have the secondary person to go for building it.
Yep.
But I do like the way that they play, how aggressive Zai does, and
10
the Aura
seconds
strategy, and just
remaining.
straight up push lineup. But versus the Coddle makes it a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, it doesn't seem risky.
5
Chen versus the
seconds
Underlord and the
And
Keeper.
Coddle, yeah, it does
you're-
feel. I do feel like it is, but
Creeps are just gonna melt.
Does that mean that this is,
Reserve time.
as far as EG goes anyway, a little bit of a battle for timings? Getting a line before the Underlord can stop you, Underlord and Keeper of Light can stop you?
they do still have Shadow Demon Luna, so it is kind of a push. But they do have that type of thing to fall back on.
Mirana.
OG goes for Mirana for themselves.
EG's turn
Maybe a bit of
to
a
pick.
maybe a bit of a deny pickle in a way,
We saw Sumail played earlier.
or it could be what? No, actually.
Murana we see sometimes as a response to Chen. You don't really care about him ganking, you just arrow to creep, whatever.
And old,
10
not like old, but
seconds
what we
remaining.
kind of saw in response to Luna, since Lunas don't like to build BKB, you get this like massive magic
5
damage to
seconds
deal with the
remaining.
illusions, to deal with just like burst potential to bring him down.
I think it's really hard with the Luna though. Like you still have
Reserve
the like the Shadow Demon part of the SC Luna. It's a pain in the butt.
More than likely the universe hero here, trying to save. I mean, even though they do see the Mirana could be that, that's more than likely the mid Mirana, and so he'll be able to choose his matchup how he wants.
I actually like Clockwork a little bit more. We were talking about what Timber, Centaur before, but I think Clockwork's actually really good versus Keeper.
First keeper, Nyx as well.
But then you don't have your mech carrier. Or are you going to force
Chen
Chen to still buy it?
Chen could do.
Check and do it after Helm.
So what, Nyx,
Yeah, more offlaners.
Nyx
open
clock,
now.
yeah, much more offlaners definitely do open up here. So they go for the Queen of Pain, so they do reveal their mid matchup since they're assuming that the Mirana's going to be in the mid lane. So now more mixed damage potential and more early just team fight.
How about you put Mirana in the safe lane, you still go PL?
I mean, we did say it was in reaction to the Queen of Pain, so maybe it's a
Yeah.
possibility.
10 seconds
And it
remaining.
did win its lane, I think. I seem to recall. Yeah.
That
EG's
would be a
turn
way
to
to
ban.
avoid the Ana versus Sumail matchup.
Would be a way, indeed. Nyx being banned out, as we kind of thought the Nyx was probably one of the better heroes, but yeah, I really like this quad pickup though, especially also versus the Underlord. Just lots of heavy burst potential to
10 seconds
pierce his
remaining.
resistances, because even pipe doesn't help you versus Sonic Wave.
5 seconds remaining.
And it's also very good versus Earth Spirit Realm.
Yes,
So
that's a good
don't
call.
Don't have to worry about Sumail
Reserve
at all.
time.
Last ban. What do they think can thwart them?
Are we assuming that they are indeed going to ban out a mid hero that they would do well against Queen of Pain? We've seen Ana play, like in terms of banning out Ana heroes, Shadow Fiend, previous game, that they know they can beat already, but
10
Dragon Knight is a
seconds
hero that
remaining.
he uses very well.
I feel like both will get first.
Both will get destroyed by
By
Queen of
Queen.
Pain, and with the
5
Chen rotation, I
seconds
think it'd be
remaining.
very difficult.
Worse.
And they
Even
ban out the
ban-
Meepo
then
still.
they go
and
for the
pick up
Centaur.
Centaur still.
Okay, so trying to get
OG's
into
turn
those
to
back
pick.
into the back line.
Fair enough. It's a really good pipe carrier. I
Very-
think
yeah.
like pipe is incredibly good value this game for EG.
Yeah, OG's literally all magic damage. They have no physical,
10
so they definitely need to
seconds
draft something
remaining.
with the physical aspect.
PL?
5 seconds remaining.
Brain's only half working. PL is pretty much the only thing that's coming to mind, but don't know if
Reserve
I
time.
want to believe, you know?
I think the crowd is yelling OD. Is that, is that what I hear them saying right now? On OD.
Could it fit? It's a Slark.
And they go for the
It's a
Slark.
Slark. All right.
So they don't really have a straight up hero that benefits too much from the Coddle, but
Will slow down the push from the Luna Chen for sure.
So,
I think it's a bit greedy going for Slark versus this type of lineup, in my opinion.
Yeah, it might get ruined by the Chen.
Yeah.
are you then still on the same page? This draft didn't change your opinions?
I am liking EG.
Yep, I'm also liking EG's draft.
Wow.
Lots of different type of team fight potential, and like you've been said, the pipe carrier from the Centaur, mech Chen carrier, they have a lot of different types of sustain, mixed damage potential, good 5-man lineup, and I think, yeah, I just think the Slark is a bit too greedy, even though they do have an Underlord and a Coddle to deter the push.
All right, all seems very convincing from you guys, so I'm just going to leave it at that. Looks like Evil Geniuses, at least according to our analyst, has a bit of a leg up. But we're going to find out who will get match point after this Game 3 of the best of 5 grand finals with OD Pixel and Gods.
Hello, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much, UND. We're ready to get to
Prepare
game
for
3
battle.
now of OG versus Evil Geniuses. The drafts have been complete and are done.
on
Gods?
Who?
Yeah.
Who's it? What? It's OG on the down side.
We do. It's apologies for the confusing tags. I believe that is an issue with the lobby, but we'll roll with it.
I'm gonna hazard a guess and say that's Jarek's on the Earth Spirit.
No, it's the
It might be.
famous player Bites him Galolin. Come on, Gods.
New standing. This is you just lost.
Yeah, you've
the
got to
game.
keep up with these
Whoa.
roster swaps in 2017. Some of these names are a little
So-
less appropriate for casting. T++ in the jungle.
Yeah, it's
S4, he's a
good
smart
amount
man.
of names.
This is a man that's proud to wear his
Simple
nick.
things. The only one.
Wait, I think Universe.
Oh yeah,
30
Universe too.
seconds
No,
to
yeah,
ban.
Yeah, so
you're
it's, there's something about the offlaners. Something about the offlaners, Gods.
good men.
They're the real men of Dota.
Few good men left in Dota 2.
There we go. Universe and S4. Keeping it simple for us casters. But anyway, the drafts, Gods, we heard the panel's opinions. A lot of hope for EG's lineup. Do you agree, or do you feel that OG's got a little bit of a smart final pick there with that slot?
It's a tough game for them. They haven't got good defensive save. They also don't
The
hit
battle
buildings. Like you
begins.
pick up this Underlord, often you pick it like for these 5-manny type lineups, which is not where they're going to shine. It's a lot more farmy with the Mirana and Slack heroes. That'll take some time to come online. The Coddle, it's an interesting little pick. It's meant to buy time for these heroes, but I think the result is going to be that like a center initiation with a quad follow-up can just blow anyone up without a reliable save. So yeah, I'm looking towards EG having the slightly stronger draft. Looking at the lanes, I think EG can come out on top. They're already sending the Luna to the offlane, thinking that they can contest Slack's farm. So this lane set definitely favors them.
All mid lane.
That roll hit, that could have been trouble for Sumail, who did not have blink yet. But
A little unfortunate. I mean, if it was Crypt playing that and not bites him, he may have hit that roll. The lanes that have settled down, as you said, it's got this kind of aggression up on top, trying to look to do something about this. Like, is this a favourable lane then for EG because of this this Luna versus Slark matchup? Should we see the Slark getting shut down early on?
yes, Slack should not get much farm. SD Luna with Chen's involvement, Chen already walking his way into the enemy jungle, is likely going to cause problems for top lane and as well as mid lane. The nice thing about being in the enemy jungle is it's the easiest place to gank the mid lane from, but also the top, so easy access to 2 different lanes.
And so far in the CS, certainly seeing the difference there, 5 for 1 on the Luna compared to the 2 for 0 on Slark. Mid lane matchup, 6-2 against the 3 for 0.
No Spirit walked into the Chen stomp.
Bites in to roll away. Bottom lane, this true kind of 1v1 here with Universe and S4 going on. Yep, 6 for 4 on the Underlord, Universe 3 for 0, so the Underlord winning the lane at the moment. Is this something you kind of expect?
Yeah, this hero very pretty good in 1v1s with the aura, reducing the damage, making it pretty straightforward to win last hit battles. Top lane.
Top lane, we could see our first blood here. Izok Kazit taken out by Carnage. Let's look at them first blood here. EG Toshi to be chased down underneath the tower, but they ain't going to die. EG hold back and won't push further for the kill. They're happy with that first blood indeed. Bottom lane, Universe going in with the combo. S4 dropping down low, not quite low enough. He's going to be A-OK. Has those 2 points in the Atra Fiora to making sure those right clicks do as little as possible. Still though, Universe looking for an opportunity to get the double edge in, but holds back on it. It's only level 1.
Short, yeah. A lot of damage, but not enough for that kill. Nice little first blood, bringing down No-Tail. Damper his lane, which is already going to be a tough lane for him to farm in. And
Top lane.
oh, nice kickback.
Get the roll in. Indeed, Luna in trouble here. The follow through turn in return. Yeah, Luna just turning here with Carnage. Can't quite finish him off. T++ in the lane as well, ready to deal with any sort of aggressive play from the Slark.
Lincoln aggressive in mid. Mirana going to be A-OK. Takes quite a bit of damage from the aggression of Sumail. We trademark Sumail aggression. He loves to play on your high ground when he can. He's got 2 points in the Shadow Strike. It's very aggressive stuff coming from him, and the Shrine's already been used to the north of this mid lane, so no Shrine available at either side for Mirana.
Bottom lane, still S4. Certainly keeping Universe on his toes.
Even with Universe, Universe tried to go for the kills early on since he knows it's kind of like a losing CS matchup, but oh, the roll could follow this one up.
Yeah, indeed, with the Earth Spirits rotation, Universe in a lot of trouble already, suffering in this lane. Can S4 get the final touch on fire? There we have it. S4 takes him down thanks to the participation of the Earth Spirit.
It's a 5 movement speed difference between those two heroes, making all the difference for that last right click.
Oh, look at this, Bison just pulling it off as he takes the bounty route.
Mirana is just getting constantly harassed out of lane. Like the CS between these two is dominated by Sumail, and it's made even worse by the fact that Mirana has to continue to buy more and more regen.
T++ surrounded here by the 2 of them. Good stomp from Universe to hold them back, and maybe the turnaround potential is there. In comes the Mirana, jumps forward with the Starstorm. They do end up bringing down the champ, but they did lose S4 for it. So 1-1 trade, top lane, bit of a go in there from the Slark. Illuminate follow up from Toshi. Carnage with the setup. Here we have the Luna surrounding the Keeper of the Light. They'll pick up a 3rd kill so far this game. EG and Sumail putting pressure on the mid lane. As you said, already doing incredibly well in this mid lane matchup. Sumail leading 32 for 14.
Spoiled that shot.
Actually on the top lane, Carnage actually looks like he's stuck around a little bit too long. Actually ends up giving the life back away to OG.
It's a handy kill for a Slark who's not getting much CS in lane. I'm still just so worried. It just feels like this Mirana's going to die any second to Sumail. It's constant blink in, Shadow Strike, Scream, all he can do is just arrow range creeps over and over again. I feel like that's like the 4th or 5th arrow he's just used to get a range creep.
I
And
mean, he's going to fall very low here. I don't think he's quite going to die. Oh, well, okay, with that. Look, there we have it, Sumail. Just styling on Anna at the moment with these sort of plays. Just as you think Anna might just live by
bottom
this
lane
devastating.
universe being dived, but the TP out.
Is he going to make it? Yes, he is. Just in time, that's 4.
But tower going down. This is the lane that's going well for OG. They're really putting a ton of pressure on S4, is winning in CS, brings the Earth Spirit down to get some kills, and now they're in a position to take the tower until EG show up.
Absolutely. Carnage with the setup. They get the follow-through stun. T++ with the micro, and a Bizarre Golem is down. Pick up another one.
Leave Arteezy alone at this top lane. But he's in a 1v1, which is just fine for him. As long as it's only a Slark, he's not too worried about it being a 1v1.
So far, laning stage, I guess because of what this top lane and the mid lane, it's a better opening for EG, even though they are suffering on this bottom.
Yeah, I mean, the bottom's gone okay enough for them.
It's
They haven't
not
lost the tower yet.
No.
Universe is getting some farms and levels. Like, the death is not great for him, but it's not the end of the world. 14 CS. To the unloads 34 is very one-sided and all, but hey, Sentinel's a hero that once he gets Stampede can start looking to set some things up for your team. The more important lane is mid. You've got a level 7 Queen against a level 5 Mirana, 43 CS, 17 denied. It's just brutal. Sumail's just, he's pooping on Anna right now.
I mean, what do you feel the build's going to be this game for Sumail with this amount of farm at the start? Does he get the Orchid first? Are we going to see the Ags rush?
I've seen him almost always go Veil first.
Veil first.
He's got the double null as well. I just really like to side him for the stats, of course, as well. The active is good, but getting armor is always nice, and yeah, the double null means you just dominate your lane even harder. Eyeing up his top lane, but I think Arteezy's realized he's kind of pushed his luck there long enough alone. He's kind of got to get out of there or wait for support to show up. And with the rotation from the supports, he is feeling safe enough to TP back in.
Jarek's here on the watch out.
He did catch wind of the Shadow Demon in his move up top.
There's the jump in. Notel wanting to make a bit of a go here onto Arteezy. Arteezy starting to back up, does have backup coming in from the rest of EG. Good silence onto 2, diving deep. The Sonic Wave flies through his slug, falling low. They're controlling and they surround him. EG will punish him for the play. So both teams losing their safe laners.
It's alright for OG, they only commit 4 heroes. That roll, he rolled it forward to TP out. Carnage very low to a couple of range creeps here, but will barely survive. And bottom lane S4 took a tower. That's going on. That's a
space created.
EG bringing their entire squad up top, losing their carry, getting a revenge kill on the Slark, but I mean, it's space for Mirana to get an empty lane for a little bit. Any space for Anna at this point is great. And S4 at bottom. So it was actually a 3v5 effectively in the top lane. So
yeah, I mean, look at the net worth at the moment. S4, he is at the top because of this.
yeah, with the tower gold in, not a surprise. And fast mech for the team could be what they need to just start grouping up a little bit, making some plays. The problem is, normally they have like 4 heroes who can group up to create space for Anna. They haven't, both Slark and Mirana need farm, so it does feel like OG have a bit of a different approach to this Game 3 draft where they're not going to have like one core farming while the other fights. It does feel like both those cores want to get some farm. If Notel can have a Shadow Blade around when the mech comes up, great, but his farm has really been taking a hit due to this aggressive lane, but feeling like after that Luna kill, like things have kind of shapen up to be all right for OG. In terms of the net worth, it looks pretty reasonable for him.
Oh, absolutely. It was a slight edge for EG, but after that bit of play, swinging back around. Very close though still. Just around the 1,000 lead at this stage of the game. Nothing too major at all. Bottom lane, S4. He's now going to have to deal with both the Luna and the Shadow Demon being in his lane.
Yep.
He's not going to worry about it too much, of course, with the early levels that he's had. And as you said, the point that he's very close to just getting that mech sent out to him. He's feeling pretty comfortable in this bottom lane, and not too scared at all of these kind of rotations coming in from EG.
That's rude, but it's not leading to anything. He doesn't even have teammates on the way, just spending some of his mana. That's had his raindrop getting constantly burned though, and EG want to use this Eclipse. I think that's it. They're going to smoke up with the Luna, try and find that opening to get a kill and ideally turn that kill into a
Dire's
tower.
middle tower is under attack.
See what they can find here. Carnage leading the way. You get a grab onto Toshi. Well, get a grab onto S4. S4, no. He TP's in fact under cover of the Moonlight Shadow, is able to lay down the root. Komhu coming in with a follow through. Anna can't quite get the kill though. Carnage with a defensive disruption. Can he play his way out? No, he can't, because in comes Zizok Kazit. Takes down the Dark Pact to bring out the Shadow Demon's life.
Really nice awareness. S4 has been such a playmaker this game on a hero that you don't really think of as being a playmaker. You just think Underlord, kind of boring, sits there, throws some spells, buys a mech. But he has pushed the tower, been very aggressive with the help of Jerks in bottom lane. Very fast TP to react to that smoke gank, and no chance to use the Eclipse again. It feels like they know Arteezy's not farming as well as they'd like, and getting a kill off of the smoke, getting a tower would really help that recovery, as well as free up some space for him to get some good farm, but not going to work.
The lane, I'm going to look towards S4. They do have the Sonic Wave available. He's not going to even need to use it here. Rhythm and Blue is Sumail. Okay, he will. Making sure he gets himself the kill. Looked like he may have been able to do it without the DD, but S4 just going out of range of the attacks. Needing to blow the ult for it, but he'll certainly take that. Let's bring it down S4. One of the guys on OG that was having one of the better times here at the start with some fantastic net worth.
He's got 500 gold for that. That's a lot for 11 minutes in. Underlord did buy his mech before going down, but oh man, I can't believe how much you get this early on as a quad for that kill. So, I mean, yeah, he's got a Void Zone. We'll be going to the Yule Scepter, so wanting to have an escape for the Earth Spirit silence. Showing a lot of respect to Jerks and what he can do on the Earth Spirit. As No Tail just kind of aggressively maneuvering through this Radiant jungle and seeing what he can find, but it does feel like they are doing a good job of giving room for Ana right now. Still a bit of ways to go before he's going to hit that Aghanim Scepter, but it has been a quieter 5 or so minutes for him where he's not being pressured by the Queen of Pain for once.
Blessings upon a loyal warrior.
Yeah, we're seeing No Tail as well going for the same build that he did earlier this tournament on the Slark, just getting the Echo Saber before any sort of maneuver ability.
Just relying on his team for the initiation, and so far, I mean, with Earth Spirit and the Pit of Malice, it's worked out just fine.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Now, we're interested to see if he does go for the Blink again like last time. And he went Echo into the Blink, rather than the more commonly picked up Shadow Blade.
And against teams that you know are going to be a kind of 5-man grouping up, the Blink is just the more reliable initiation. That instant, and that not having to worry about running into sentries kind of approach. Also cheaper, so if you worry about Queen of Pain going for an Orchid or something, you do have that ability to help yourself out. Nice Moonlight Shadow, they know they're here thanks to the scan, and the smoke will pop. And
they have got a sentry down here, so they will see it. It may not be in time to save Chen, and indeed it is.
That's a really well-timed strategic move from OG. They execute that perfectly. They scan to make sure they know they're there. Then they know they can't smoke up the ramp. They have to use the Moonlight Shadow for the invis, and it's time so they can get this top tier 1 tower.
And they'll even be able to hold the bottom tier 1 as S4 TP's across. So not even losing anything in return. Get an objective to make sure that EG doesn't.
And they recall in the Earth Spirit. I wonder if they're thinking about making a smoke move here to get very aggressively, just keep EG on the back foot. They only just now made one. If they do another one, I don't think EG will be expecting something so soon. But it seems like Coddle going to jungle up one more camp here, get his level 7, and just sit behind the Mirana farming up mid.
Network-wise, Ana not necessarily in a terrible place, but still definitely the difference between himself and Sumail is felt.
Sumail's just so far ahead of everyone after that Underlord kill. But Sumail's not going to be able to win this game on his own. It's OG who, as a team, are in pretty good shape across their 3 cores. The Earth Spirit getting some alright farm as well as levels as well. Both supports hitting level 7. And EG, they're the ones kind of just staying on the back foot for now. They haven't been aggressively making too many moves. They're waiting on that Centaur Blink Dagger, and because Universe went for this Hood first, going for the survivability, it will take a bit longer. Arrow lands on Chen at the top near the secret shop. No follow-up though, it looks like. Thought about going in, but a lot of EG heroes there.
Now bottom lane, look at this. S4 can't quite Dark Rift away in time. There's the combo there. Asti and Luna proving to be too strong. Actually able to bring down S4 regardless of the fact that he had that mech. And those good levels as well, but only just incredibly close there.
Supports are going to find Luna, but this Eclipse could turn this around on them.
See if he can play his way out. He has been silenced though, stunned as well. Hand of God isn't going to be enough to keep him alive. There's a defensive disruption as well, but RT's in a load of trouble as they will finish him off. OG find one kill, moving across for more. Sonic Wave actually missing there from Sumail. Notel is able to kind of just hang to the side and avoid it.
It doesn't quite know the exact position of the Shadow Dance and wouldn't have been enough damage anyways, but Sonic Wave going on cooldown is a pretty hefty one for EG to now have to play around, considering they haven't got a Blink Dagger. I imagine this will be a pretty passive farming stage for them. And as a result, OG going to be pressuring towers, knowing there's no Sonic Wave, there's no Centaur Blink. They're going to put EG on the back foot, take away some of that access to their Radiant jungle.
Here comes the push. What can EG do to stop it?
No, they haven't got very good deep push with their lineup. No real good wave clear.
Brick's actually going to get rooted up and boulder smashed as well as they just hold him back. Notel trotting across as well. They use the Moonlight. Notel now. Indeed building towards that Blink Dagger in terms of goal. 850 on his way. Usually with this Moonlight, see if they can get anything done with this. It will be scanned out by EG. They know OG's position.
Notel pinging the wards, or thinks it's on the cliff. Not sure the exact one maybe, but one of those things where map control is going to be very easy to maintain. If you can push some towers early on and you've got a Slark on your team, you find yourself in a really good position in terms of overall map vision. The first sentry not going to catch the Obs ward, so
Radiant's bottom tower
Notel will
is
double
under
check it
attack.
and say, okay, it's on the other side. This time around they will find it, but EG have to kind of play keep away. Finding into this mech and soon to be pipe of Underlord is going to prove to be very difficult for them. And the Slark just very tanky with this first item Echo Saber that treads the Achilles. Got a lot of bonus strength, sitting on 1400 HP at this stage of the game. And they're still waiting on that Centaur Blinks. Universe just about to complete it. With this Tower Gold, he's only 150 away.
Very, very close indeed. That's something that they absolutely need to be able to put a stop to the way that OG's grouping up and pushing. They need that initiation. That setup for Sumail to get into position for a good Sonic Wave. Also just to allow the time for RTZ to right-click into the members of OG.
So annoying to push versus Underlord. He's so tanky they can just TP him by himself. And you can't punish it just because if you go on him, his teammates, there's plenty of time where he'll just stay alive to rotate in. And if he wants, he can now Dark Rift down bottom to join his team for a team fight. So EG have to be careful about team fighting down bottom. They can also recall him in, which is actually what they're going to do. Oh, no, recall doesn't work. He takes damage from a Luna illusion, it looks like. But he can Dark Rift in if he feels like he needs to, and that's exactly what he's going to do.
Oh, down bottom. Notel already trying to kick off the fight here. Bottom smash catching out two. They will jump forward. They will find crit. Nothing more, but that doesn't now allow them to finish the tier 2 off.
Playing with these high mobility spells that don't rely on towers is just, it's so nice when you've got recall and the Dark Rift, because you can push towers without having to worry about the split push. You send one hero back to defend, stop the split push from happening, and you put yourself in a position to take a tower without losing one. And that's the position EG don't like being in. They're taking our tower, we're not taking theirs. Let's stop this by trying to fight, but the fight suddenly is a 5v5 with Underlord showing back up, and that's where OG are able to capitalize. And for EG, they're playing the farming efficiency game. Luna and Queen of Pain still the top 2 net worth heroes. Sumail having an incredible game. Arteezy farming very efficiently. They just need to find a way to use this farm and meet OG.
See what they can do here to stop this mid lane. Is EG
Good
this
luck
time?
pushing.
No one's coming in with a push.
Firestorm, Illuminate, okay. I like that he's gone for the Mud Golem creeps, or has 2 of them at least.
Good arrow here. Allows them to close in onto the quad. That's going to be Sumail out. And OG, they're not done. They want to move in for more. Chasing down onto Carnage. Carnage sticks around. Crit gives up his life. 2 down. Still with the chase. Looking towards T++. Boulder smash and the arrow hitting into the chain. Jump forward from his Okazid, a.k.a. Notel. And they'll find 3 of EG. OG taking a very good defense there, holding on to the tier 1, and again, with this push they're able to formulate off the back of a successful team fight, maybe able to take down a second tier 2, just 19.5 minutes in.
Great arrow, and they're getting some revenge after that mid lane. Not sure if Shadowdemon was maybe just a bit too far back, I mean, you don't want to be far forward when you're pushing against a team that can close the gap and get to you. As a Shadowdemon, you have to be kind of sitting further behind your team, but couldn't get the disruption off to save Sumail, and Now Luna, bottom lane. Maybe in trouble here.
It certainly looks like he is. The border smash comes through.
TP out?
I think the damage will be too much by the looks of it. He's going to try, actually. And he may just make it. Oh, he does.
Dire's
Oh,
bottom tower
oh,
is
it's
under
easy.
Thought they might hold the boulder smash, but wanted to try and just burst him down through the TP. Couldn't quite get there.
And then S4 with the root set up onto Universe. Immediately with the pipe. Oh, not yet the pipe, just the hood. But the hood and the Stampede enough to keep Universe safe.
Just feels like EG aren't finding the pickoffs they need. Like there hasn't been a good Eclipse this game. They've gone for a few smoke plays, but OG has just read them well, and OG smokes have been a lot more successful. The big reason for that to me is the map vision. OG able to maintain very aggressive vision, while any wards EG put up are typically getting de-warded due to the Slark. The one ward at top is not a very useful ward considering how much action is happening around this middle and bottom side of the map. It's OG able to push out lanes better with the Pit Lord, the Keeper of the Light, as well as their high mobility, having these global TP spells, the Recall and the Dark Rift. So very hard for EG to play without vision. That's one of the key things with this Slark pick.
So, I mean, how do they start to kind of get that control back out? What is the plan here for EG after the pressure that OG's putting on?
They really need to find a good team fight, which is easier said than done versing an Underlord who's soon to have a pipe, but getting a good initiation from a Centaur and bursting down someone like a Mirana or an Earth Spirit at the start of the fight, it's going to come down to it just hitting enough, feeling like they hit this critical mass of items on their core heroes that they can finally fight. And Queen of Pain can definitely be a good frontliner, has a lot of survivability with her item build. Yeah, they're just trying to force it. They're like, all right, let's just 5-man it up top, see what we can do, and Slark can't really initiate into this one. It's going to come down to like the Coddle and the Underlord just chipping away at the creep wave and getting EG low before OG want to initiate. Spawn with the scanning. Think about going in now.
The prize is mine.
EG very much grouped up, making it hard for OG to see the potential for that opening to jump in.
This is where if you're OG and you can defend these lanes while farming elsewhere on the map, that means you're winning an overall farm. They've got Mirana down bottom, and I think EG realized, all right, they've come up here, it's not going to work. Let's make sure we don't just get our farms, and got to find some way to... Ooh, Dark Rift down bottom.
There we go, S4 bringing in No Tail. And immediately moving forward, just seeing if any of EG are left behind, but EG themselves.
There's only one out of tower left. You take that last out of tower, your map control skyrockets as you can deal with the shrines, take Roshan. They haven't got the best Roshan lineup, but it's good enough. And that'll force EG out to fight into you, where if you can set up a good vision and observer wards around that Rosh pit, very hard for EG to come contest.
Well, actually we have S4 here cleaning up the Gen army, or pretty close to do so, and in fact at the same time No Tail jumps him on the back. The boulder smash will clip onto Crit. Finishing off the Star Stone. It's quite enough burst damage, you can't quite get in range for the full combo. There we go, Ismail jumping across. In fact, this could be the perfect angle to blow a big Sonic Wave, and indeed it does catch two. Takes down the Earth Spirit. No Tail coming back in. Hanakod's popped by Chen. Is it going to be enough to save the members? There'll be a defensive disruption, but still Crit, he has to run. They'll chase him down. They'll get the Shadow Demon, OG.
They had to use so much just to kill an Earth Spirit, and they had to blow those spells because the Pipe Mech were about to be used to save him. And they're going to lose 2 supports in return if they can finish the Chen off.
Universe coming in with a good stomp to hold back but it's not enough to hold back Anna. In with the combo, picks up a second, usually backs up the rest of his team, and still, Samael hasn't got enough control or damage to do anything about No Tail fighting underneath the tower. So again, another trade, OG taking 2, only losing 1.
Mobility of their cores has proven to be very problematic, both Mirana and Slark. It's hard to get a good Eclipse off. I mean, I keep going back to the spell and EG's inability to find a user. A big reason is that the pounce as well as the leap just means that these core heroes that you want to be using Eclipse on are going to just wait till you use that spell and escape from you. EG's lockdown is entirely reliant on the Centaur. There's no other real disables for them.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
That's making it very difficult for them to find these kills.
And they've lost the courier as well now, EG. So another kind of time that they're going to be having to wait upon.
Ward will perhaps be scouted, yep. Hotel pinging around the area, and again we're going to see the vision disadvantage continue to make it hard for EG to find the good fights that they want. They have managed to keep this last tier 2 tower alive still, so still have their shrines up, still have
Dire's middle tower is
some
under
access
attack.
towards that Roche pit.
As you said, just no tower. Informing the team on the whereabouts of the vision. Has Basher on top of the Blink Echo Saber. I mean, imagine that. Does he go for full out Abyssal Blade, or does he need a BKB himself this game?
BKB eventually seems like a good idea against the Lunar Eclipse. And being able to just... You want to be able to just go in the center and stack up a bunch of Essence Shift as well, and you can do that very easily with a BKB. Not have to worry about getting hoof stomps, so... Will be an item he wants to buy at some point this game, unless they like end it really fast because they get like a big team fight in an Aegis or something. But for OG, they're happy just to wait their time, pick up a few more key items. They're getting more farm, more levels,
Worthy tribute.
and have 3 cores doing incredibly well. The damage output's just going to be heavily negated. The Pipe, the Mech, and soon to be Crimson Guard now on the Underlord. I think OG recognizing that. EG will, are looking just to force that 5-man push. The Chen Luna, it's pretty straightforward. Well, the SD with the Chen Luna as well, making those Luna illusions. You want to just be able to kind of brute force your way through a lane. They've even gone for the mech build on the Chen, a more defensive, kind of push-oriented, 5-man oriented build from what we've seen in other games. And it's not really working for EG. They haven't found the ability just to move down these lanes.
Well, still not necessarily the biggest of leads for OG, but it's a lead that they've confidently held on since around this kind of 8-9 minute mark.
A lot of it's just like the feel where it just feels like EG are helpless. They're farming, but are they really progressing? They're not making aggressive moves. They can't move out on the map. They haven't been able to pressure any towers. They've only taken 1 tower the entire game. It's OG being able to use their smokes, use the Moonlight Shadow to set up kills. They're the ones controlling the map through all their vision, and it's really preventing EG from doing anything apart from just play the farming efficiency game. And EG's just looking to itemize for the late game, already building towards the Octarine on Sumail, that late game Octarine Blade Mail. He's not even close to level 25, but he knows that for EG to win this game, it's going to have to go pretty late. Get Luna 6 slotted, get Quap to that place as well, and just look to use their kind of their experience and just choose better team fights than OG. Slack can get kited later on as well. He's not going to necessarily match up amazingly well against a Queen of Pain and Luna in the late game.
Top lane, OG in position to push down that final tier 2, as you mentioned earlier, just getting that extra bit of control across the map, enabling the shrines, and making it that little bit easier to have control around the Roche pit.
Very like OG staying as 4, they can very easily
Radiant's
Dark
top
Rift down
tower
bottom
is
if they
under
really
attack.
want to. They Moonlight Shadow first, and not sure what
The prize is mine.
the idea is there. Looks like they're maybe worried about, yeah, they
Dire's
actually
bottom
leapt
tower
towards
is under
Roshan, so it looked
attack.
like they thought EG might be in the
Dire's
Roche pit.
structures are
But
fortified.
EG's just, they're slow sieging. Manta illusions, SD
Radiant's
illusions.
top tower is under attack.
They want to take this bottom tier 1 tower.
Dire's bottom
they'll get it.
tower is under
EG,
attack.
able to take us their second tier 1 this game,
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
and immediately just heading
Dire's bottom
straight
tower is under
back to
attack.
base. OG came across, EG not wanting to get caught out after getting an objective done.
OG's a team who will play very safe, slow and steady Dota when they're ahead, and I think they can feel right now like, look, we've got superior vision for the most part. They have lost a couple of wards recently, so their vision right now isn't the best, but they also know they're denying, dewarding everything that EG's putting up. EG see nothing on the map, and all the lanes are normally being pushed out through the AoE of the Keeper and the Underlord, and just Slark as well, able to push and farm these lanes.
No tail, looking for the BKB next. 2400 towards it.
See Rana go to the more of a right-click build now after the Aghanim Scepter, not going for any kind of Ethereal Blade.
Interesting.
Looking at this, more of an illusion clearing build with the Maelstrom.
Mid lane Notel tried to jump
Top
in
lane,
there
meanwhile.
onto EG.
Oh, S4.
Indeed, S4 surrounded. Can he play his way out of this one? Doesn't look like he can with the burst damage from Sumail. That'll be S4 out for the count for 50 seconds.
All right. Possibly sets them up to take a tier 1 mid. It's a decent chunk of time if they can group up. They even pop the shrine to heal up faster. Just getting a single tower out of that would be pretty nice for EG. Nice find for them, and finally I think finding the right idea, which is punish OG when they're split up. They want to push out. OG's doing a really good job keeping multiple lanes pushed out, often the Underlord's by himself and relying on the Keeper recall or the Dark Rift to join his team if a team fight happens. Just run at the Underlord. The rest of his team can't get to Underlord. It's Underlord who can move to his team, so punish the fact that he is often alone.
Mid lane. No kind of real setup there, just harassing Ana back. And as you said, EG maybe seeing if they can form together this push to get rid of that tier 1 mid. It's already relatively low.
Those illusions might be enough. Blinding light. No, that'll be enough to keep it alive for now, and Underlord's already back alive and kicking.
A couple more waves though, Nota will have that BKB. And with that in mind, it's going to be very hard really for EG to take down the Slark. They do have a fair bit of punch in terms of the right clicks from RTZ. That Sonic Wave will always be there.
They're invising in. They have a deep dire observer. They saw the Chen and Quap. They'll get only a Chen.
We'll pop the Stampede and the mech there for the Chen, but it's not enough to save Zai.
Good damage OG can do. Perhaps looking for the tier 2 top. A tier 2 top opens access to kill those shrines, and they do have at least a couple of creeps here. Sumail in a good position to creep skip if he wants to, and that's exactly what he's going to do, but his tower looks done for.
Absolutely. As we keep saying, this is the crucial tower. Sets off a lot that
Radiant's top tower
the
has
OG can
fallen.
now get complete. And immediately set off to do so.
Interesting. Slark doesn't go for the BKB in the end. Picks up an
changed it
Eagle
up.
Butterfly.
Okay.
Can run into the Luna a bit better, and
Yeah.
also it's just good agi to hit buildings with. He's going to be the main building here. It's not normally a hero that you think of as being particularly proficient at killing buildings, but someone's got to do it, and all the attack speed means he can build up that essence shift even faster as well. The DD rune, I wonder if this is going to be Q Roche.
Roche certainly could be on OG's mind now with the momentum that they continue to maintain.
They give the Slark a bottle even, so it's a DD rune for a potential pick-off or a fight.
Ooh, and he has found a beautiful one if he can get away with it. Looks towards the Luna. There will be the mana leak. Do they have the vision though? They do indeed. They've got the gem, of course, on the Keeper. The light Arteezy will be defensively disrupted, but with OG surrounding him, he's surely going to go down, and indeed he does. Takes a boulder smash to the face. The silence now is the Quap. Using himself up, Sumail will be able to stay alive. Gets a good Sonic Wave out. Is instantly rooted though, and in fact, with the bashes coming in, that's Sumail out as well. OG taking 2 out.
That's a timely DD rune and very well played. A lot of teams would just be like, oh, let's pick up this DD rune, go Roche. That's in my mind, like, oh yeah, that's DD. They can go Roche. There's no vision for EG. Like, very safe play, but OG's like, no, let's go for a game-winning type play. Immediately just blinks in on the first hero he sees. SD's there for a defensive disruption, but it doesn't save him. It just buys time. And
oh, look at this with the stacks that he's built up. Slark feeling very confident, maybe too confident though. In fact, he's getting bursted down, and he's out. No tail. Oh no, Izok it.
well,
Not the play that OG needed to happen there. He got a little bit hungry. I mean, he felt strong, he felt powerful. He was like, I'm a Slark, I'm going to dive these towers. But underestimating the control that EG had to offer. And that really has put a bit of a spanner into the momentum they had.
Soul Catch is pretty good. Pretty good spell. That, yeah, Slark got blown up due to the Soul Catcher, and Luna buyback coming into play. That was perhaps I mean, you got to expect there's going to be buybacks if you're going to force a Rax or dive tier 4 towers. It's definitely something that's going to kick in, but it was really the damage amp that he just didn't have an answer for him. With Shadow Dance on cooldown, probably shouldn't have been going for such an aggressive maneuver.
Yeah, he nearly had it off cooldown as well. I think it was about 6 or so seconds until it would be back. So just jumping the mark a little bit too quickly. They'll be able to regroup themselves for the next time. They do still have the lead.
Mirana goes for Lincolns. Not only the disruption really that this is good against, but disruption doesn't seem to be like an offensive spell to be used this game. I'm not a big fan of this Lincoln's purchase.
I mean, maybe, yeah, I guess, yeah. Even if it's not for himself.
Orchid or Hex on a Quap, you know, there's not a whole lot this Lincoln's is going to be blocking. Seems pretty dubious, to be honest.
Interesting as well from Samir. He's queued up the Maelstrom.
Yeah, he needs to dish out damage. It's
Yeah.
also more magic damage to lifesteal off of once he gets that level 25 talent. It's the upgrade Mjolnir saying you can put on the Centaur or the Luna in the front. I mean, put on yourself when you blink in. I mean, once you get that Octarine Blade Mail, you just blink in and you're the front line at that point. But it's going to get that level 25. It feels like getting that level 25 is the big climb right now for Sumail.
Yeah, still quite a way to go until that happens. This time, OG in the pit, and they should get away with this. Roshan falling very quickly, and EG themselves just sticking up to the high ground, not wanting to get caught outside the base.
Very interesting No-Tail's talent build to just talk about some of these talents. He's gone pure defensive. He's gone plus 10 strength and 250 health. I think you look at what most people get, and even like on Dota buff, some of the win rates. The higher win rates is typically with the attack speed as well as the agility. Obviously, when you're losing games, you're more likely to get the strength, the health, so there is some kind of skew because of that, but I think No-Tail just knowing that he wants to be playing super aggressively, running in, and the more health he has, the easier it is to do that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we saw how once he did get bursted down, so absolutely having that extra bit of bar to work with could change that situation, just giving that chance to get the Shadow Dance off and escape.
Gia set up to find a pick in this top lane should someone defend this, but it's getting closer and closer to the EG base.
Finders, keepers.
Yeah, again, EG. They're just waiting for a high ground defense by the feel of it.
Almost money for a Butterfly. Luna, maybe 300 gold short of it. And without buyback, Arteezy's just going to commit to that one if he gets a chance to. Having a Butterfly before this OG push comes, or the next big team fight comes against OG, could make a big difference.
Absolutely. Something that's really going to make a difference when the Slark's jumping on him.
Yep.
Giving him that chance to survive. We've already seen that they do have good save potential. They have a Stampede, they've got their Hand of God, they have Disruption. A lot of ways that they can keep Arteezy alive. Well, that's if they themselves remain alive. There's the immediate jump in from No-Tail. They're going to make a play, but the Hoostomp holds him back. No-Tail turning into Universe. Universe backs off. Running light, making sure that OG can get a safe back off. They may even just want to go back in immediately, and Anna clears out the mid-creep wave.
Finding it difficult to burst anyone down on the EG side. They've got a lot of defensive tools, even the items, the Glimmer and Force Staff on Shadow Demon. And they go aggressive, they're going on S4 mid. He's alone.
He's absolutely done. Soul Catcher and Demonic Purge, along with the Sonic Wave. That'll be more than enough to deal with your Underlord.
Yeah, the rest of the team have backed off. Underlord, not the most mobile of heroes when he's not using his ultimate to fly around the map.
Absolutely not. 12 for 16 though.
Worthy tribute.
Still, these kills, they've got to be careful with this OG. It is allowing the pace to start slow down. They do still have that lead.
It's just a strange game because it's like OG, they're ahead. They've got more access to farm and resources on the map. They seem to be controlling the game pretty nicely, but every now and then EG gets a kill, and you can very clearly see that OG don't have a good way to break high ground. They don't hit buildings very well. They can't force a fight to, like, they can't force pickoffs. Like, they actually don't get pickoffs at all with their lineup. So it's going with this big question on OG are ahead, but how do they win this game? Their lead has been slowly increasing over the last 10 minutes from 5,000 to close to like 12 to 15,000. But at some point you got to think, okay, what item or combination of items or farm is going to win them this game?
Look at this top lane, No-Tail just going in on his own. Has to be careful though, backups there. Universe in with a Hoostomp. No-Tail, is he going to get punished for this one? Does have a pounce in a second, trying to get his way around the center, but the body blocks there. Universe making sure the pounce hits him. Immediately getting out. Can they actually catch any of this? But doesn't look like they can. At the least though, as we saw that, they do take that Aegis out of No-Tail's hands.
Not really a loss for OG. Definitely a small game for EG, just taking it away. They're not worried about it anymore, but realistically, I didn't see OG making any kind of a play with that Aegis. It felt like they were just falling back to continue farming, controlling the map, dewarding a bit. And that's where OG are definitely struggling the most, is just finding those kills there, just farming up more on the Mirana. She's going to reach a butterfly level 25. Perhaps some of these level 25 talents can help them out. Mirana gets a lot of right-click damage. Once you get like maybe the leap attack speed with the plus 40 damage from the level 20 and a butterfly. Slack can get a bit scary as well. So perhaps that's what they're looking for. And the Underlord maybe thinking he just needs a bit more levels and farm. There's been a few times where he just gets bursted down.
Item-wise, yeah, looking for that Shiva's Guard. I'd imagine, I mean, I guess he gets the Shiva's Guard rather than the AC, or could that be a case for both this game?
On the pit?
On the Underlord, yeah.
Oh yeah, he
Oh,
just
he's
took
got it
this
done.
with-
Yeah,
yeah,
there
he had
we
it
go.
on the courier. So no problems there. EG deciding it is smoke time. And they know they've got great damage output and great save. They can take team fights, and if things look bad, they can just stampede and run away. They've got a lot of ways to escape a bad going team fight. Problem is it's daytime, and Keep It Light with Aghanim Scepter gets a lot of vision right now. So they've got to try and catch fire. Oh, they missed the stomp.
They don't get the stomp, and that gives Anna the chance to jump away. They do find, however, the call, and that's the gem on the deck. That's the turnaround.
Okay, he's fine.
Dire's
No-
middle
no
tower
slack
is
there
under
for that.
attack. Dire's middle tower
Not gonna team
has
one.
fallen.
EG getting a very good little pick up the fact that they do manage to get themselves the gem back. Well, it's the gem, just taking the gem away from OG, who's originally Flies.
This makes it a pretty decent goal swing, like a 2,000 goal swing when you're taking a gem and getting a kill there.
My thrift rewarded.
Yeah, really feels like neither team's going to be able to push. Both teams have such a big advantage when they're defending high ground. Like in EG, like yeah, you've got this Chen SD Luna, but you're pushing into Illuminate, you're pushing into Firestorm, Earth Spirit, very good at defending high ground. And EG can definitely closely siege with the illusions, the SD illusions, as well as the Manta illusions, but it's going to come down to who can find these these better initiations later on. The Slack is just going to have to get enough items that he can just get. I feel like for OG to win this game, Slack's going to have to go in a team fight and get like 40, 50 Essence Shift charges just to become a absolute beast, because without that, they just lack a bit of right-click damage and can't really sustain themselves throughout a fight. Mirana getting closer and closer to a point where she can, I mean, she's already doing good right-click with the butterfly and soon to have a Mjolnir herself.
Nearly, well, yeah, just 500 or so away from having that completed.
OG just continue to play. Let's kind of split up, farm everyone on the map, but they now say enough is enough. Let's go for a smoke.
Allies disappear.
There's no Moonlight as well. Moonlight usage will be have been spotted out on this bottom lane.
You got 4 EG heroes on the high ground.
Yeah,
They,
not taking any
Dire's
chances.
bottom
Don't have
tower
any of
is
it.
under attack.
It does feel like EG don't care to make aggressive moves because they recognize OG's inability to push and their inability to kind of break open this game, and they feel like when they get this level 25 Queen of Pain talent is definitely the most influential one out there. Like, that's much scarier than any other level 25 talent. Like, this Dark Drift top perhaps looking to catch Sumail by surprise, but he's already backed off and he's going to be just fine.
Yeah, backed off and grouped up with the rest of his team. Now picking up that farm, starting to catch back up with that of OG's. RTZ at the top of his team at the moment. And the money is in the bank nearly to pick up the completed Skadi.
Probably wants to hold on to the buyback, but we'll see.
As a wraparound. Sumail and Zai. There's going to be the initiation. It means you with a Who's Dump onto one No-Tail. Will jump in onto the Luna on the back of it all. A good brute holds the Luna in place, but still RTZ gets the chance for the Eclipse to come out. They look towards the Earth Spirit, but he's already rolled away. Splitting up the fight nicely here. Who's actually going to be the first to pay there with their life? It's going to be the Chen falling. No-Tail jumps in onto the Shadow Demon. That's going to be another. They drop the gem, EG. So OG getting that one back.
Spirit survived this. Oh no, he died to the Shadow Strike in the base. He survived the Sonic Wave, but didn't TP to Fountain. Otherwise, he would have lived. But yeah, No-Tail just gets in, gets some good Essence Shift. Only gets like 10 to 12 Essence Shift at the start, but it's enough to kind of push EG back, get a couple of kills on the supports. Unfortunately, it's not like they don't win the team fight hard enough that they can really get much out of it. Both teams just end up kind of resetting things a bit.
No tell nearly with the funds for the BKB.
Yeah, feels like a goes in the Abyssal, gets some more Ashen Shift. He'll just take what free hits he can. Up to 23 now.
That's a good chunk of stats stolen.
But yeah, I don't know if he's. I mean, he's got the money for it. He's got it queued up. He had it queued up earlier. I wonder if he's going to think like, oh, maybe I just want to get like an MKB or something. But nah, he goes to the slot. The BKB. Does feel like he may want to wait to deal with the evasion of the Luna a bit later on, whether that's an MKB or something like the Bloodthorn. He's still got perhaps an item to replace in the Echo Saber, and even can play without boots if he wants to, since he's got Blink Dagger for mobility.
It looks like OG as well may just be waiting for the Roshan to come back up there, checking it out. It is the longer respawn.
Still, I guess, beg the question is, yeah, they can wait for Roshan, but what are they going to do when they get the Aegis? Can they? I mean, they're going to try force a fight, I guess, but realistically, if EG want, they can just sit on their high ground and defend using illusions, defend using that high ground advantage, and EG not wanting to give them that Aegis. Going to make an aggressive move out. Fly is out of position, and
Absolutely, there's the jump in, but it's that boulder smash and silence, catching out pretty much the entirety of EG, allowing Notel to jump in, look for the Shadow Demon. Shadow Demon will glimmer cape up, look to get out, but this magnetize as well. Jerax just absolutely ripping up the fight there. It's going to be EG losing 2. I mean, we're just seeing how dangerous it is to fight in that sort of a position grouped up when there's an Earth Spirit Jerax.
That was a beautiful stun. I mean, that definitely a game-changing one. Is Slark just wants to go, and he's got so much Essence Shift now. If they want to, they can just start hitting the buildings with him. 66 bonus Agi, and Luna without buyback because of the Skadi purchase.
Look at this Notel just jumping in again, bringing the Quap down low. Now turns his attention towards Universe. He just continues to steal these stats. There'll be disruption, holding him back. That was 26 or so stolen. The Demonic Purge and the Soul Catcher doing a fair bit here against Notel. The Dark Rift coming out from S4. The Yules, it's not going to hold him back. The Dark Rift still pills him through.
And now they're top, so they can go for another lane of racks. They can slowly heal up if they want. They're pinging Roshan, though. They're like, okay, look, this Luna might have buyback. Let's take the Aegis. That BKB, Butterfly, and Slark in the front line's proven to be too much to deal with. More HP as he goes for the plus 12 stats at level 25. He's sitting on 3k HP without a Skadi. He hasn't even gone for any like huge HP items. Oh, crit. In trouble.
Looks like he's going to be left behind. Universe escapes in the tree line. Crit is not going to be as lucky.
He's out. That's a dead Shadow Demon. Meanwhile, Slark soloing Roshan. I guess he takes the Aegis just so he can hit buildings. And
what's going to take out? I wonder if he just takes out the treads. He's got the Butterfly for the movement speed. Oh. I mean, Jerax, the true carry of OG, apparently.
Yeah, I mean, the fights EG has had some of their best outcomes. They've been killing the Earth Spirit early on. He is most of their control in the fight. That Boulder Smash has been team fight winning.
And I guess, Notel at this stage, he's not prepared to die even just the once. He's kitted up.
It seems like one of the heroes that needs the Aegis the least, given how hard to kill he is.
There we have OG. Oh, again, Notel just seeing any sort of opening, jumps in, pops the BKB, looks to lock down onto Luna. Won't be enough to finish him off though, but it does keep EG away from these racks. The fortification comes through. Notel still standing strong with S4 and Anna by his side. There's the jump in again onto Arteezy. The root's down. They'll find the kill onto the Luna. Luna's out for 80 seconds. Solid Wave comes out from the Queen of Pain, but for Zamel it's just not enough to hold them back at this point. Anna's falling low. It doesn't matter. He's keeping himself alive. They managed to finish off the racks. Notel looking for more stats. 26 stolen now. Now towards the Queen of Pain. Yules up for Zamel. He's going to be able to keep himself alive until the Abyssal Blade comes in. Notel, he's not done yet. He wants to steal more of those tasty stats. Still only go. And eat your heart out. Stats everywhere for this Slark. Jump forward at Quap again, getting bashed up. He's out of mana as well here. Zamel in trouble. He's being shoved around by his team. Will just have enough mana to blink up to the high ground. Universe is going to be now chased down by the 3 of them.
They're just slowly getting mega creeps.
They're just pulling them apart. I mean, 45, 46, 47.
This is the Slack's wet dream. These long
Let's get it up to the 50. There we have it. 51, 3, 4. Look at the stats. Count. Look at that number go up, guys. It just doesn't stop. GG has called the stats too much. The stats never lie, and with the stats, you'll never die. GG, well played. OG take the game, and another impressive showing here this LAN of OG's Slark performance. No tail, having a fantastic time on the slippery little bugger.
He really stood out all throughout the mid to late game. He just took this approach to fights where he didn't care about getting kills. He just cared about getting as much essence shift as possible. He would just blink it on the first hero he sees, hit them 10, 15 times, know that they're going to get disrupted or there's going to be a stampede forced out, but it was always EG using their spells defensively to save a hero. They were never really firing back at OG, and they didn't have the damage to kill a Slark. The only kills they seemed to be getting was like a pick off on S4. Then speaking of S4, his Underlord in the early game really came through big for OG.
Just the amount that he got in that lane up against Universe, it just kind of shows you the power of this hero, how much he can do, how much he can kind of withstand even a Centaur, and a Universe Centaur as well. You know, a lot of times in a 1v1 situation, Universe will win the lane, he'll force you out of it. But S4 on that Underlord, just a little bit too beefy. Anna again with great recovery play. The start, it wasn't the most amazing. You know, he was getting bullied in that lane by Sumail, but again, finishing the game 6-2-14. He's going to be very happy with his scoreboard. And well, there we have it.
I mean, for EG, it was such a great game from Sumail. He did a ridiculous amount of hero damage.
Brilliant.
Arteezy farmed great, but I feel like we didn't feel the presence of the Luna that game.
It was so hard for Arteezy really to get in, because each and every time at the start of the fights, No-Tail was just blinking onto him, causing the entire team to blow every sort of defensive spell to keep Arteezy alive off the back of the initial initiation.
Well, a tough game for EG, puts them on the ropes.
Absolutely does there. OG getting themselves ahead here in this best of 5 series, so don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see how this one will continue. More action here in the best of 5 G2A.com Dota Pit Season 5 LAN Finals between Evil Geniuses and OG Dota right around the corner. See you in a minute.
gaming bets. Online betting for every esports fan. Dota 2 and Hearthstone, CSGO and Overwatch, StarCraft 2, the choice is yours. Express bets for multiple matches or live bets on the game you are watching right now. Know your way around Dota 2? Make a prediction for picks and bans. Playing CSGO? Guess the number of rounds in a certain match. Daily quest for all participants and all the best choice of payment systems. More than 600,000 users have already made their bets on the spectacular matches since 2011. EGB.com. You know for sure who's gonna win.
Welcome back to the G2A.com Dota Pit LAN Finals Season 5 in Split, Croatia. We are in the middle of our grand finals and it is 2-1 as OG take the third game. Fog, what did you do to Merlini? It seems like you might have infected him with your bad picks.
Jesus, thanks, Sheemer. I don't know, dude.
You know when we had that discussion, it's like, oh, there's no way they're not going to first pick Underlord, and then they let it through to OG.
That did happen.
That did happen. I thought it was irrelevant. I was like, there's no way they're going to let them pick Underlord. But
Okay, you want to talk about Underlord.
yeah,
I can tell.
that is the hero of the grand finals right now.
Yep, I think it was...
Or Lone Druid.
Yeah, I think of the grand finals for sure. I think that this game, though, it was not only the Underlord, but I think the Coddle did a fairer factor. Didn't really let EG use the Chen to any factor. He wasn't able to get those early towers. I think they still had their mid-tier 1 at the end of the game for OG, and I want to say EG only claimed 2 towers within the first like 25, 30 minutes mark, so they did lose a lot of potential map control and map farm from that one, so I think OG's draft just kind of limited them in that factor and allowed them to delay it long enough for the Slark to become incredibly farmed, but yeah, Underlord definitely is one of the biggest factors there since he got such an early mech online.
They always draft additional mitigation too. It's like, okay, they had the Underlord and the Rubik. This game was like the Underlord and the Blinding Light on the Keeper. It's exceptionally good versus any sort of siege that you're going for. And I don't know, they kind of just picked Chen into that lineup though.
Yeah, they did. I guess they wanted to punish it earlier on, but they weren't able to. Not really too sure.
They tried. We have a couple of highlights to show you as we as we talk about the previous game. As we don't actually see the highlights. Okay.
It's okay.
But there will be highlights.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think also Jarek seemed to be playing really well on the Earth Spirit as well. A lot of multiple hero boulder smashes. We saw it at the end near the Ancients. I think he got a 3 or 4 man stun into silence on top of a pit, so the pit even rerouted them again on top of it. Just seemed like Arteezy wasn't really able to do too much on the Luna either, just because of all the damage reduction, the Blinding Light, like you mentioned, and just the Atrophy Aura building up.
Yeah,
and
the highlights are were being played as we missed those. So good. There you go.
I think this is the one. Yeah, right here is where he gets the 4-man kick.
Yeah.
It's silence as well on top of the pit. Slark gets into the back line too. The nice thing is too, the Slark versus the Centaur is pretty interesting too, because even though the Aghanims does prevent you from really bursting anyone down, he's able to just hit always in these team fights. So we saw him get up to like 25, 30 stacks in majority of the fights, and then in the last fight he even had 60 Essence Shift stacks, which I think is the most I've ever seen.
I think that is the most I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Before that was like 51 maybe,
Yeah.
something around there.
So overall, I like the approach too that No-Tail did. He's been doing it majority of the times when he plays a Slark trying to get involved. He goes for the Echo Saber first build, and then this time he actually skipped the Shadow Blade entirely and went for the Blink, which was kind of cool. He just gets into the back line. Seems interesting. I like his type of approach that he does for him.
And we can take a look at the stats and see where the players ended up in their KDAs. And, you know, sure, Evil Geniuses, they lost. But
Underlord's net worth is ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, he just completely free farmed, like in the laning phase as well. The universe started moving around and trying to make plays happen, and Underlord just sat there and, like, yeah, I think it was like an extremely early mech that made it really hard for EG to actually take any huge team fights, just negating a lot of their damage with that.
Sorry, I cut you off, Shiva.